Hello, hello. Here is our AEW review for tonight. Here is our AEW review, Marquelworld. Let's talk about it. Before I try to read the script and what happened, let me go based off memory. We did see the Young Bucks, the Elite. They are reuniting for a tag team match next week. That caught my attention. We did see Jack Perry being a little silly and trying to face everyone in the Callis family. I'm sorry. He did try to face them and attack them when he was basically 7 versus 1. Is that how many people were in the ring? So that caught my eye. Willow and Harley becoming the first ever women's champions. Very shocking. What I mean by that, I didn't know that they were going to win. I wouldn't have guessed that they would have won. I thought it would have been Ty J, Anna J, and Tay Mello. I thought they would have been the first ever because they are the women that have been there the longest. So not saying that they deserve it because they've been there the longest. I'm just saying I believe that they had the most chemistry. Thought Tony and Misha would have won, but clearly that didn't happen tonight. Again, AEW, they don't want to just put all of their eggs in one basket with Mercedes Moné, Tony Storm. They don't always want to just rely on those two women. It used to be Britt Baker at some point as well. But they don't want to rely on the same woman. They want to make stars. So Harley and Willow, this is no surprise. Willow re-signing with AEW this year. Again, there were speculations and even rumors that her resigning was going to mean there were going to be great opportunities. So maybe this is the opportunity right here. But let's talk about it. AEW. Today it's almost 2026, but it's December 10th, 2025. Again, Marquelworld. I post pro wrestling news at least 3 times a week. Please like and follow. Got the Young Bucks representing them tonight. Do love the Young Bucks. How are you guys? How are you guys? So, let's see what else I want to talk about with AEW. Again, I'm just thinking without looking at the results. Kyle Fletcher and Mike Speedball Bailey. That was a good one. At the last 1 minute mark, Mike Speed Bailey did get that surprise pin. Great match. I will say match of the night for sure. Maybe even contender for match of the year. Just saying. Hey Anthony, how are you? And okay, let's read this. How are you? Oh, that's great. So 2018, we're almost in 2020 during COVID. I'm assuming that's going to be a long chapter because COVID clearly for everyone was different. But I'm glad to hear that the book is moving along. Hope all is well. Hey. But, okay, so let's keep going on. Kyle Fletcher and Mike Speed Bailey, match of the night. Again, maybe even match of the year. We're not there yet. Leon Slater versus Javon Evans would have been the match of the year. I will say after that, Myron Reed versus Leon Slater was also good. Again, that was another match. Myron Reed, the Young Goat versus Leon Slater was also a good match in TNA. So TNA is getting a lot of great matches. But back to this match with Kyle Fletcher and Mike Speed who also was in TNA at some point. Great match. Kyle Fletcher, he's starting to grow on me. I can be a real one. I can admit he was kind of overpushed for me. I kind of was getting over seeing him. Was a little upset with Sammy Guevara basically being replaced by him. That's what it seemed. I am a huge Sammy Guevara fan. Still following him on Ring of Honor. He just won Tag Gold. Again, I think he's a 2-time or 3-time champion, but he is winning gold in Ring of Honor. But Kyle Fletcher, I felt like kind of took his spot. If you can imagine Sammy Guevara doing the same storylines that Kyle Fletcher is in, it would be very, very, very believable. Very similar structures. Very similar ring styles. The gear, guess similar. Both look good. I mean, hey, I gotta be real, but still, they look similar. But again, so Kyle Fletcher is starting to grow on me. He did earn a little bit more of my respect tonight. Seeing this match again, almost we'll say the match of the year. I don't know yet. I'll have to think about 2025 and all the other matches that I enjoyed. But right now, that's almost match of the year. So good job, gentlemen. Hey, sometimes I talk about AEW a lot in a bad way, but I can give them props. Tonight, it felt like there was more great wrestling, storytelling. I don't know. Storytelling has never been AEW's strong suit. Let's just be honest. Storytelling has never been their strong suit. I will say, and by the way, who watches the replay, please like and follow. I post pro wrestling news at least 3 times a week. I know I didn't really post this much that I was going to go live, but hey, I did decide I want to do this because I also thinking about going live on Saturday after John Cena's final match in a WWE ring. Have to make sure I say that, in a WWE ring, because it may come back to bite us when he joins TNA or AEW one day. But those that watch the replay, please like and follow. It helps. Those that already do, thank you. These women, again, this is my thumbnail. Let's put the women up here. I thought even maybe Megan and Penelope, isn't that her name? They were going to win, but again, she got injured sadly. So again, this team was not the team I thought was going to win. To be honest, I never thought they were going to win these titles, so it's very shocking. I'm not even going to front with y'all. Like this Harley, she's very new. She reminds me of our WWE Intercontinental Women's Champion, someone that is green but has a belt. But hey, this is how you create new stars. You give them mid-card titles. If you don't want to give them the World Championship, so the Tag Team Championships, clearly a mid-card title. The Intercontinental Championship in WWE for Maxine, clearly a mid-card title. So that is how you get them over, by giving them these mid-card titles. Again, Harley, she's starting to grow on me a little bit. I really don't know much about her appeal. I think the Muppet is what really made people like her. That's what I think, but still, I don't see it. So, here we go. Again, okay, now she's blocking the screen. She's like, you're talking about me, so I'm going to block the screen. But here we are. Here are our new first ever AEW Women's Tag Team Champions, Harley and Willow. Again, this is something I was not anticipating was going to happen with this AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament to crown the first ever women's champions. Again, I didn't feel like they were going to win it, but AEW does like to do swerves. I will say that. Speaking about Swerve Strickland, he looked great tonight, him and Adam Page. Again, I really don't even have to look at the notes or look at, pull up the results, because again, it was so much that happened that I enjoyed that I don't, I already remember what happened because I enjoyed AEW tonight. But Swerve and Adam Page did look good today in their tag team match versus Hobbs and who was the other person? See, now I have to look. I remember the match, but now I have to look. I remember Swerve got the win. But who was the other person that was facing? I'm trying to see who this other person was facing. Jack Perry looked decent tonight, by the way. Like I said, he was acting a little crazy by trying to go against those other 7 men. But we had the Tornado Tag, Adam Page and Swerve versus the Trio Champion, the Ops. Cartercito, Shibita, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Okay, so I guess they did lose. Again, we did have Swerve looking great. He looks very like he's been in the gym a lot. This is not the same Swerve that we saw 4 years ago. Swerve has came a long way. I feel like maybe for the success story leaving WWE and going to AEW, he could be considered someone that had a huge success story. And with the success that he's gotten so far, it's making him more confident. It's making him go to the gym more. It's making him try to be better than he was the week prior. So with more success, there goes more training, more trying to get better. So do like seeing what we see with Swerve before. Maybe when he was in NXT, wasn't he part of the Cruiserweight division at some point? So we see a totally different Swerve now, who's very, very buff. Gives that World Heavyweight Champion vibe because, again, he has a little success, bigger success in AEW. He starts to get a fan base that respects him based off of his wrestling instead of him being part of a group. And he starts to become more confident because, again, he's getting bigger opportunities, getting more opportunities. Fans are loving it, and again, more confidence. The better he wants to do, the better results we have. So I'm excited to see what's next for Swerve. I do believe he will be a 2-time AEW champion. I almost think that he will have a record that will be part of AEW. It may not mean anything now because the company's not even 10 years old yet, but I will say that he may get a record before he leaves AEW. I do feel like he will resign whenever his deal is. I do know he just resigned recently, but again, I do feel like he will have maybe the longest reigning AEW World Heavyweight Champion of all time before he leaves, or he'll have the most title reigns, or he'll be the longest reigning TNT champion. I do believe before he ever leaves that company, he will become a TNT champion as well. But a lot of good plans for him, clearly. Adam Page, again, he had his World AEW Championship run. I don't know if it was not bringing the viewers that AEW predicted. I don't know if he was not again, I don't know if he was I don't know if stockholders did not like what the viewerships were seeing with Adam being the champion, but that was a short reign. I do not know what is next for him. Again, clearly they're just coming up with ideas now. Now that they're having Swerve and Adam become tag teams, I do know they have such a huge rivalry that this is something very special. The two of them basically coming together as one for a match. But again, is this something that they're going to keep doing because they don't have no real plans for Adam Page? Again, I don't see him being someone that will really challenge for the mid-card championship. Again, I'm kind of getting maybe tag team championships if they want to push it. If they don't feel like Swerve, again, they don't want to give him a second title reign as AEW champion right now. They want to focus on other people or give other people their first reign. Maybe this is a good teaser by having him and Sorry, this damn call. Maybe it could be a teaser by having him and Adam Page be tag champs to see how he is as champion again. We did have Big Stoke. By the way, that was a good match too. It wasn't as good as the Mike Bailey and Kyle Fletcher, but again, AEW, like I stated, had a lot of great wrestling tonight. So I did like this tornado tag. It had a lot of matches that were a little bit different. Again, we do have a lot of tag matches, but this time, oddly enough, I did enjoy it. We did have Big Stokes call out Bang Bang Gang. Again, he is the mouthpiece for FTR. Again, AEW, if you haven't noticed it, it is the same formula every week. I feel like he gets a talking segment at least once a show. If it's not backstage, he's either in the ring doing a promo, but it's always you will get a Big Stoke promo. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing. It could be a good thing if you like them, if you like him as a manager, and you like him speaking, and you kind of get behind FTR when you see him speak. So if you like that, that is a good thing. But if it becomes a little too much, or it's just too constant, again, it may not be a good thing because it's on a weekly basis. So that being said, another one is promos. I don't know why the Don Callis family always wants someone to join them. Again, if you guys are so good, or this is the best family, or the family is good as is, why do you guys always need more people to join if the family's already good as is? Again, does not make sense to me. I don't know why they are literally begging people to join them by saying if they don't say no, there's going to be problems. Again, you're going to beat people's ass because they don't want to join your group. Okay. You're that desperate. You already have 8 other people. Again, the writing does not really make sense. So, again, that's why I'm saying AEW in their writing sometimes. Speedball, again, looked great. So did Kyle, Adam Page. He had his little backstage segment. The Young Bucks, again, were looking for a partner. And then they did find Kenny Omega. They did try to get Jurassic, what's his name again, with the mask, the one with Jungle Boy. He declined and said no and pointed at a door, which I guess Kenny Omega has his own dressing room, even though, is he still a VP? I do recall it was the Young Bucks that got stripped, but again, I know they're following the storyline, but he does have his own dressing room with his name on it. They reunited, so it will be them fighting next week, so that is a treat. The Elite. Again, Toni Storm looked great tonight. A lot of people are talking about her ring gear. Mercedes Moné, people are talking about her downfall, and her downfall is being showcased on AEW TV. We just saw how they showed her losing to Red Velvet. So I think that is something that they are going to try to highlight soon, that she's losing her belts and she's becoming crazy. I think that is the storyline that a lot of the fans want to see. They do want to see the breakdown. What I mean by the breakdown, they want to see Mercedes Moné lose some belts and freak out or just get upset. So again, we are starting to see this on AEW television. Renee even said, you lost the belt, how do you feel? And again, Mercedes did kind of, I don't know, try to change the subject basically by saying if she was not successful, why does she have all these belts? Again, she did not answer about Red Velvet taking her title, the Ring of Honor World Television Women's Championship. She just deflected and said that she already has more belts. So again, I feel like this is going to be the storyline that everyone wants to see. I guess this did kind of help her. Again, she's my favorite female wrestler, Mercedes Moné. But all these belts did kind of help her resume. You can say they're these small little indie belts that really don't mean shit. But again, it's a lot of belts. So after a while, holding these belts and having a table just because you won so many championships and so many indie promoters trust you just shows how popular you are. So Good for her. Getting the Women's Wrestler of the Year from PWI. Again, all these belts kind of maybe helped her visually by showing her having all these belts. So it kind of made her look like a bigger deal. I'm not saying that she's not a big deal. I'm just saying with all these belts, it kind of made her a bigger deal. So I want to see what happens next. I don't know. She didn't lose to that baddie chick on AEW. What was her name? Layla Gray. So I guess she is still winning some of her matches, Mercedes Moné. I do know that some people thought that she was just going to just keep losing all her belts in a row, but that kind of doesn't make sense. I mean, you can lose a belt here or there, but to keep losing your belts every week, I mean, you're that mentally drained or mentally not there that you're losing on your championships. I don't think so. There's going to be some point where you want to keep a belt if that's happening. So, again, I don't know how she's going to lose all her belts, but I do not see it being where she's going to lose them week by week. I mean, all of a sudden she sucks in the ring. She won all these belts, but all of a sudden she can't defend them anymore. Yeah. Of course, it wouldn't be right if the Dark Order... I'm sorry, I don't think I even saying their name right. Give me 1 second. Because I think I called them the Dark Order the last time and they weren't the Dark Order. What is Moxley? What is the faction Moxley is in AEW currently? Again, I think I said their name wrong, so I do just want to make sure. Okay, so this is wrong. Because they're saying he's part of the Don Callis family. I mean, maybe he is. I can't keep up no more. But I don't think that. The Death Riders. I knew it. Dark Order, Death Riders. Again, the Death Riders. Again, they have backstage promos, matches. I don't know what's going with Daniel Garcia. I don't know what's going on with him. I do see they're trying to push him by having him in that group. But again, I don't know what they're really trying to do with him. Are they trying to make him a mid-card champion? Are they trying to make him a tag team champion? I mean, him being around all these people isn't really going to do anything if he doesn't win a belt or if he does not elevate as a character. So they don't know what's going on. With Isaiah Cassidy, his best friend in real life, he's still on the shelves. Isaiah Cassidy, private party, so let's not forget about him. Again, I don't know what's going on with him either. He's just on the shelves for some odd reason. Ever since they lost their championships to the Hurt Syndicate, we haven't seen them. So, very weird. I hope we do see them soon. But let's move on. Let me go back to the results just to see. Okay, so I think I almost talked about everything. Samoa Joe did beat Eddie Kingston for the main event. That clearly was not the match of the night, because again, I told you Kyle Fletcher and Mike was. Hell, I even think that tag match was a little bit better that we talked about earlier today. I think that was a better match than what we saw. That tornado tag. We did again see Jack Perry. He did attack after the match. He lost, but Jack Perry did face. Who did he face again? Did he face Okada? Yeah, he did face Okada. He did lose. Very close match. Again, better than the main event. So again, all these matches were better than your main event. Again, the champion being champion, he will get the main event spot more likely, or the women's champion. But again, wrestling wise, I don't know if they deserved the main event. I don't know if they did deserve the main event spot. Again, it was a great show. I would say it was an 8.8 out of 10, so a B plus for me. But again, the main event could have been a little bit better, or they could have swamped it. If they would have swamped it for the AEW Continental Tournament, it had Mike Speedball and Kyle Fletcher be the last. Okay, maybe I would have said this would have been a 9.2 or 9.5 out of 10. I don't usually try to give people 10s out of 10s because you can always do better. If you give them 10 out of 10, they may not want to change anything. But again, 8.8, again, could have got a 9.2 or 9.3. If they would have switched the order, maybe of the wrestling matches. Again, switching the orders would change the vibe. I feel like the championship match did not have to be the first one. It could have been Jack Perry and him, you know, they had their match. And then to kind of get us a little bit excited for the night, we could have had a AEW championship match. And then we would have got us those other good matches that I did mention. Such as the Tornado Tag and then Mike Speedball. So that would have been a really smooth transition. I mean, after that, we could have got the Tornado Tag, then we could have got the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. I feel like that was the first match or in the beginning of the show, so could have got that. I kind of see what they were trying to do. Maybe try to get some headlines going on by having the women go first so they can get some headlines about the first ever, having some people wanting to watch the show. So good strategy by AEW. But I feel like I'm getting off. I'm tired. Didn't really sleep. This is your AEW Dynamite review. Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. I will be live again for a gossip session, probably more likely after Saturday night's main event. We'll post more about that when it comes. But YouTube, thank you so much. Those that follow and like the videos, thank you. Please like and follow if you have not. Those that already follow, please like, it helps. Thank you for the support. But I'm going off. I'm on X, Blue Sky, and TikTok, Marquelworld. But this is Marquelworld. All things pro wrestling news and my life. See you guys on the next video, YouTube. By the way, I did post a video about the AEW new first ever women's champions. I create a quick little short. I like to do shorts because they say this is the new thing. People don't like to watch 7 20-minute videos. No. People like to be on the toilet and watch maybe a 2-minute video, or they like to be on the subway traveling. If they're like in New York or Chicago, they like to just scroll and watch it. So that's why I'm doing some shorts as well, more because that's the new thing. But let me get off. This is Marquelworld. All things